Bro, welcome back from Saudi, man. Bro,
How are you?
I'm not used to, calling you from Saudi, man.
Well, I'm
Come back here, bro.
I'm very
What
international
are you
now.
doing here, man?
I gotta say, it is quite nice when I come back to
Oh, yeah?
Dubai. It's like I'm home
Yeah,
again.
yeah. How's
yeah.
Saudi?
Yeah, it's good. It's really busy. Like
Yeah.
we're into event season now, so
Okay.
there's lots going on. It's a pretty crazy time. I haven't slept in about 3 weeks, so
Yeah.
it's good though. It's good.
Are you not
Yeah.
thinking of like going back? Don't you miss Dubai?
I think eventually I'll probably end
Eventually?
up back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for today's topic, we are going to talk about concert photography.
Yep.
And before that, I want to show you something, bro.
Okay.
Show you something. So this is special for me. Okay. So just look at this. Look at this. So again, guys, today we are going to talk about concert photography, and a lot of you guys doesn't know that I started my career shooting concerts. Yeah, when I first picked
Oh,
up my
wow.
camera, this is my first genre that I
Yeah.
chose. Because I was playing in a band since I was a child,
Wow.
and then when I first picked up my camera,
That's an amazing.
I
shot.
decided to show them.
Look at that. That's crazy.
So I decided to shoot concerts and stuff. So for my first 3 years at least of my photography career, I started shooting concerts and I printed them, put them in an album. So
Yeah, I
you
love
should
it.
too, bro. You should.
Yeah,
print
yeah.
them, put it in an album.
Yeah, it looks so much nicer when you actually
Yeah,
print them out.
Exactly. And I have here, for sure you know this guys. Where is it? Where is it? This guy for sure. You know what that is.
Is it bad that I don't?
No, come on. The Joker, Jared Leto.
Oh.
30 Seconds to Mars, man.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's a really cool shot with the crowd behind.
Yeah, this is the.
Where was that?
Abu Dhabi.
Oh,
2012,
wow.
bro. 2012, man.
God, I forget you've been
I
here
am
so
old.
long. buddy.
I am old, bro. I
You
am
were basically born here. Wow, yeah,
Yeah.
these are really cool. Yeah, look, see, you're doing this stuff in 2012 before anyone started
No,
experimenting.
this is 2010.
Wow.
2010, bro.
This is like so popular now, like the slow shutter
Exactly,
speed stuff.
exactly.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So, guys,
So
again,
you've been doing it before me.
so the topic for today is concert photography. And Brad here, I've been shooting concerts for how long?
Oh, probably like 10 years
And,
now.
and you've done
Yeah.
loads of concerts. Bro, I've seen your
Yeah,
post,
yeah.
man. Every single concerts here in Dubai, Coco Arena,
it's
Etihad.
crazy.
It's crazy. So that's why when I came up with this podcast, I want to have a topic specifically for concert photography.
Yeah.
And of course, none other than there's only one guy that I know, Brad. So Brad, again, we've known each other for like three years now, 4 years.
Yeah,
You
a while
attended-
now.
You attended my workshop in Expo.
Yes,
Since then we
yeah.
became good friends.
Yeah.
We worked together in Saudi. Oh, I miss
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
We
you
covered
came to
concert.
concerts as well.
Ooh, yeah, we covered
We'll talk
concerts in
about that
Saudi,
later,
Like,
yeah.
Kanye West? No. Kanye West. So yeah, that was we covered. I think there's Martin Garrix.
Yeah, there was. So it was
Chris
cool.
Brown.
Last year was Soundstorm
Yeah.
2023, and we did like a lot of content for them, and there was everyone. It was like the festivals in Saudi. I'm sure we'll talk later about it. Like the biggest in the world right now, which is
Yeah.
why it's so exciting for me to be there with all these crazy events happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting times.
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. Okay, so I'll give you a minute or so. Just introduce
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Give us some insights, your background. So yeah, man, the floor is yours.
So, oh god, this is very intimidating. Like, do I look into the camera?
No, just look at the light, bro.
So I'm Bradley. I've been based in Dubai for about 7 years now, and then I moved to Saudi about a year ago. And before that, I was born and raised in London. I've been doing concert photography for like 10 years or so now. It kind of all started when my favorite thing in the world is concerts, and my other favorite thing in the world is photography. So the two coming together was perfect for me. So I did a few concerts in London when I was like 15, 16. And then from there, I've been like hooked on it, and it's always been like part of my life. So yeah, it's like it's my favorite style of photography, like hands down. And it's very, very challenging, but very rewarding as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So just give us a backtrack. I know you kind of touched on it, but I mean, before shooting concerts, like the moment you pick up a camera, is that the first thing you've done, or you did something else?
So I've always been like big watching YouTube, and like when I was like 12, 13, I started watching like vloggers and things like that, and it was like the very start of people doing like daily vlogs and like cinematic vlogs, and I was like hooked onto that. And then a couple of people I was watching started showing their photography skills and what you could do with photography and how it could be a career and everything. And that really drew me in. And then I bought my first camera. It was a Canon 60D. I think it was about 2010, 2012, something like that. And I started shooting just anything and everything, trying to find what was my sort of style. Then I eventually did, in the UK, we have A levels. So that's like when you're 16 to 18. Yeah. And I did my A-level photography course, got 100% marks, which is very good. But
humble brag.
Yeah, sure. And it was like, I just experimented with everything. And the more concerts I went to, I kept seeing these guys at the front with a camera. And I was like, that is the coolest job in the world. How can I do that? So the way I sort of started and got into this was just reaching out to anyone and everyone. I was like 15 at the time, 16. And I had no idea what I was doing. I emailed the band, I emailed publishers, like labels, marketing agencies, like even the like online photography magazine was like a big thing back then. So I worked with a few of them. Obviously, this was all unpaid. I was like, let me shoot your gig, and I got some pretty terrible by today's standard, but okay images. And then you form a relationship with bands or artists, and it all sort of leads on and just grows into a bigger thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, talking to a lot of concert photographers throughout my career, what I noticed is they usually had a background in music. Like they usually somehow tied their life into music. Like for me, I used to play music. Like since I was a kid, I was playing music. So when I pick up my camera, that's obviously my first choice.
Yeah.
I love music. So, obviously start shooting band pictures, So for you, do you have any background in music?
No, so it's really weird actually. I'm really bad with music. I don't understand it. Like
music doesn't like you. Bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like people are like, oh, the bass is really heavy, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay. But I do love music. Like I'm really into. There's a lot of bands that I like.
More,
I just enjoy it. I'm into it. I can say I like that. I don't like that, and. But also, like, if I like a band, I'm obsessed with them. Like, I want to know all the background, everything. It's like music is my thing, and concerts are my thing.
And
like,
the thing is, you don't have to be a musician to be called yourself a music lover.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just enjoying music. That's already, you can call yourself a music lover.
Yeah.
And for me, that was my kind of frustration that I didn't become a rock star, which we always dream about.
I see you still are. I see your Instagram stories.
Yes, in some way, I'm conducting my workshops.
Yeah.
So that's where my frustration.
But you still play guitar and everything.
I play guitar, So music's still a huge part of my life. So
nice.
I miss shooting concerts, man. I wish it's something that could sustain my living. But we will go to that, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, it's always been a dream of all concert photographers to, for example, like for me as a concert photographer back in the day, I was dreaming of becoming a tour photographer.
Yeah.
Man, could you imagine like
that's
shooting for Metallica, for example, for 1 year, just be with them.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like I've never done like a big world tour or anything, but I've done a couple of like back-to-back shows, if you know what I mean, in different cities and stuff. And my first experience of that, I was 18 in London, and I'd worked with a really small artist, and she had like 3 back-to-back festival shows.
Wow.
And that was my first taste of like the music industry, and like we were like on a tour bus, and it was crazy. And it was like I was 18, fresh. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is what I want to be doing. Like it was very small stages at like small festivals, but the experience is still there, and that's how you start out by doing these things. I mean, I think I got paid like 300 dirham for like a weekend. It's like, but it's
at least you got paid, bro. I was shooting concerts back in the day. It was just, I mean, I want to shoot, you know?
Yeah.
So I just want to touch on shooting concerts in Dubai.
Yes.
Because as far as I can remember, back in the day when I was starting shooting concerts around 2010, there's nothing much, to be honest. Like if you're talking about big concerts, you can say like twice, 3 times a year. Max.
Yeah. So,
right. That's why for me, I was, as much as I want to make it as a career, it doesn't happen enough for me to make a living out of it.
Yeah, I definitely say like the UAE has developed such a big music scene in the past like
Yeah.
2, 3 years, 4 years. Like before you had Coca-Cola Arena, Etihad Arena, there wasn't really anything. You had the
Yes.
the agenda
Uh-huh.
in Media City.
Yes,
And then
Media
that
City.
closed down for a bit. So there's never really been like a music venue. There's been
Yeah, true.
they take over like Media City, like the park there, and
yeah, and also DFC.
Yes,
Festival
yeah,
City.
yeah,
So
yeah.
before concerts in Dubai before happened in the open grounds.
yeah, just a field they
Which
take
you,
over.
You can conduct during summertime.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So concerts
So
happen during only winter time. Exactly.
tiny-
So it's
tiny amount of
You know,
time.
4 months of the year, you know.
Yeah.
So but right now there's again you said Coca-Cola Arena. Arena,
and there's
you name it.
concerts every single week. Like
Yeah,
the only
bro.
challenge with that, especially being like a concert photographer, is those venues are very big and it's very large artists that can fill 5 to 10,000 people. So normally they've got a photographer with them, or they have a preferred person they fly with them. So to work with that level of artists is still really tricky, but
Yeah.
but it's good that at least there's a lot of opportunities. And I think one thing that's unique to UAE is they're very good at there's always a lot of sponsorships with these concerts. So you have like a radio channel that's linked to it, normally like Virgin Radio or something. Then you have like media outlets and things. So there's a lot of opportunities to shoot with other people, not specifically with the band, which is
Oh,
a
yeah,
different
true.
avenues that people don't
so you
think
mean
about.
You don't have to work.
Yeah,
with the
you
band.
don't have to say,
Got it.
"Hi, John from the band. Let me come and shoot you." You can say to the radio station, "Let me shoot for you guys," or you guys need content because you
Got it.
did the screens or something. Like there's so many different avenues you can go down, and people don't know they need a concert photographer until they need a concert photographer.
That's
So
true. Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So let's talk about see a lot of photographers out there that you know they know how to take pictures and also they like music.
Yes.
And for sure, a lot of them are dreaming about shooting their favorite band. you know.
Yes, yeah.
So I just want to maybe we can talk about like how to start shooting concerts
Yeah.
in here in Dubai. Like where do you begin? Like
So-
yeah.
like so for me, I obviously did this in London where the music scene is huge. There is 100 concerts every night in small little pubs and different concert venues of all sizes. So it's almost easier. There's a lot more competition, but there's a lot more opportunity. Dubai, I think the best route, and I've done this a lot, is working with smaller artists in Dubai. There's some incredible local talent based in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and they're performers who normally perform sort of regularly in different bars and things in Dubai, and they're also trying to make their own music. There's a lot of artists that I work with where we've worked on campaigns together as well, where they're trying to release new songs. If you're in, if you're coming into concert photography for the money, don't. There's no money. Like unless you're at the very very top, it's just struggling.
I mean
So,
there is, but
yeah,
it's
it's like there's enough. The problem is you have to have a lot of work consistently to have enough money to get by, and there's not a lot of bands and things that are here, so it's very tricky.
I think that the thing is, concert photography is one of the genre of photography that most people do for passion.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like
Yep.
it's not compared like doing I don't know, like
Architecture or something.
exactly
Like,
architecture or
yeah.
food photography. Like
Yeah.
you have to do it because you know
Yeah.
you're getting
You love
paid.
it, yeah.
So concert photography you do it for passion.
Yeah.
Passion. So that's why money.
Yeah. It comes
so-
second. So a lot of concert photographer is really hard because once you're at the very very top and I'm not there, then you earn the money and you can tour with bands and things. But normally a lot of concert photographers I know also do the food photography, the architecture photography to do their get their day money and then go and do the fun stuff we all want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
So
tricky.
what you're saying is you don't suggest having concert photography alone.
No, I definitely say like yourself, you do everything.
Exactly, yeah.
So having that broad understanding of photography in general, and that all feeds into concert photography. Even like an architecture photographer will look at a concert in a different way to how I look at it. See, I really love street photography and I capture a lot of events. So trying to find that perfect moment is the reason I do concert photography. You can anticipate and you can think what's going to happen. Whether it does or not is another story, but you're trying to capture that moment and raw emotion of a performer, or like I try and almost study performers before I go and shoot them. If I have a very serious gig, I'll watch their last concerts on YouTube and I'll go, right, in that song, I've seen that he jumps at this bit. And I'm like, right, I need to be over there. He's going to jump in a minute. I need to, I know so many times I've had to sprint because I'm like, the moment's coming. I know what's going to happen. And like the guy's going to jump into the crowd and that's obviously an amazing moment. So you have to rush to try and get it. It's exciting. It's like adrenaline running through you, trying to do a million things at once.
Yeah,
that's the excitement.
It's like doing any other projects, you have to do research.
Yes.
Like it's something that I also did. Like for example, like what you saw, like 30 Seconds to Mars. I know their last song will be Kings and Queens of Hearts, and I know they will be calling people on stage. So I was prepared because I did my research, you know, and that's why I managed to get the shot.
And you will
know?
have the best shot out of everyone who's just turned up and hoped.
Because I did my research, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I just want to ask you because does this still practical or does this still happens? Because back in the day when I was starting, you can just show up in a concert or a gig. Not everything, but you can just show up with a camera with a DSLR. And just say, hey, I'm a photographer, and can I take a picture? You know, and most of the time they allow you. I'm not sure these days if that still happens.
So it's very weird. Like there's a very, very set international standard, like across the world, like from Europe to the US to like South America, anywhere. Normally, if you're not shooting directly with the band and have all access and everything, you get 3 songs and you're out. So as soon as the band come on stage, you shoot the first 3 songs and then you're out. There's a lot of hard rules for concert photography, and you got to get your pass, which is like depending on who you're shooting for. There's no flash, which is a big thing because you'll distract the performers or distract the audience seeing these big flashes going off, and you get 3 songs. But Dubai and like the UAE in general is a bit more free and flexible about those things. They've started to set the standard, especially with the big venues, because it's like an international venue like entity. But yeah, it's a bit harder now to get into those bigger venues. The smaller ones, there's an amazing company called The Fridge, who we both shot at actually, who do lots of smaller artists in their warehouse in Al-Sakal, and they're a lot more relaxed with it. And even then, you can reach out to these companies and say, let me shoot these concerts for you. I mean, it comes back to the podcast you released today or yesterday about we're not criminals. like
exactly.
We're just trying
artists,
to, we're trying to do our thing. Like, leave us alone.
Exactly.
Like, I remember, and this is something Saudi is still trying to work out, shall we say, is they do not allow any cameras of any form into any events. And I had a tiny point and shoot camera. It was a Canon G7X, tiny. And I was like, right, I'm just going to take it into this event. I'm just going to get some pictures and some videos. I was making a vlog at the time. And no, I wasn't allowed. And I was like, guys, come on. Like, I'm same as you. I'm promoting your stuff for free. I'm enjoying it. I'm showing my good experience. It's a win-win for everyone. And what annoys me the most is this is
capture way better shot.
It's the exact same thing though. It's like
it has ultra wide, it has zoom.
And why does this is okay, but a little camera is not okay? It's like it's the exact same thing. It infuriates
and guess what?
me.
Once you posted that content, they will share it on their page like their own, man. Oh, that's what I don't understand. To be honest. I don't.
And they don't know you've had 5 security guys chasing you down for an hour, like just to make some pictures. It's we're helping. Anyway.
Okay. So right. So let's talk about the challenges of being in a concert. Like, see, I consider concert being one of, or probably the most challenging genre of photography out there. Bro, I'm telling you. I've said it to my stories back in the day. Like, shooting concerts is one of the hardest type of photography that you can do.
And that's what I like. The challenge is the exciting bit. Like,
so what are the challenges?
So I think the biggest challenge from a photography perspective is the lighting. Like, it can make or break a show. Like, a lot of the time I've shot support acts. Now, support acts don't normally have their own lighting designer, so the guys just put blue. And the whole stage is just blue.
Or red, bro.
Yeah. And you're like, what do I do with this? And you got like 20 minutes of just all blue shots. And you're like, please, someone do something. But you've got no control over it. You have to just roll with it and try and do what you can. So lighting, again.
Oh, wait.
Gone.
What I hate the most,
Yeah.
you know, those lighting with shapes. and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. It's
they-
like all patterns
yeah,
and
like
stuff.
circles, stars.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Oh
like
my god, it looks great in person,
Yeah.
but on camera,
Yeah, and the problem is as well is you've got, and this is like all concerts. There's really bright light and really dark spots behind people. It's like the exposure and the dynamic range
True.
just don't match. Like
Yeah.
we can't capture everything. So I'm like you have to push your raw files so much to try and actually get that out of it.
True.
And it's challenging, like really
so
challenging.
how do you combat that? So yes, lighting
Yep.
is challenging. So I believe manual exposure, right?
Yeah. So I do cheat a little bit. My main thing with concert photography is it needs to be quick, easy, and work most of the time because you'll never find a solution that will work all the time. So normally I'm bouncing my shutter speed because that's how I like to control the light. I'm always on f2.8 or 1.4, whatever lens I've got, the lowest aperture, and then ISO auto. That's
Really?
controversial,
Ooh.
very controversial. But
Okay.
the systems I've been shooting with recently, which are like the Canon R3, R5, and also like Sony FX3 and A7 IV, they're really good at doing
Yeah.
auto exposure.
That's actually the thing that I noticed because when I was starting, like auto ISO is like shit. Actually,
Yeah.
auto ISO doesn't even exist back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, auto ISO back in the day when
You can't trust
it
it.
just you can't trust it.
Yeah.
Even white balance.
Yeah.
Like you cannot
Yeah.
trust white balance. You always have to either custom or
Yeah.
Kelvin.
Yeah.
Right? But these days, the camera these days are so
Yeah,
good.
it's crazy. It almost
Yeah.
does the work for you.
Exactly.
It doesn't get it right all the time. Like 80% of the time, it's pretty spot on. And with those raw files, you can push them so much anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's that's my
Yeah.
how I do it. It's not the right way. And sometimes if a show's being quite consistent, I will punch in the ISO as well.
Yeah.
But more important for me is to be aware of what's going on so I can run and grab that shot and not worry too much about the settings, which sounds bad, but it's more about capturing the moment than capturing it perfectly.
Yeah, so shoot in manual, but you
Yeah.
can put ISO in auto. It's fine, but I considered it still manual.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
As long as you don't shoot full auto. That's the worst decision that you can do during a concert.
No, that's a big no, especially with shutter speed and things like
Yeah.
a lot of all concerts now have big screens behind them, and that's its own challenge where you have to try and match the refresh rate, otherwise you end up
Hard,
with all
man.
black lines.
True.
And
And then raw file. You
Yeah.
know, always shoot in raw file
Yeah.
because you can recover so much detail in raw files,
yeah,
you know?
definitely.
I actually want to share a story. So I was shooting concerts like way like 2009.
Yeah.
And I tried to open those files
Mm-hmm.
like I think last year, 2023. And I was like blown away how much detail
Yeah,
there is
still
that
there.
I didn't even saw back in the day.
Yeah.
Like for example, like back in the day we don't even have dehaze.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine not having DAs these
Yeah,
days?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, concerts with the fog
Yeah,
and
and it's
everything,
all
bro. just
mushy.
DAs, man,
Yeah.
works like magic.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we don't have it, so that's the advantage of shooting in RAW. You know, you can go back to your files anytime, and you can play around with it.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
so RAW file, that's good. Now how about let's say composition wise?
So I like to sort of change things up with concert photography, but I always find myself coming back to ultra wide. I love like 10 mil, 11 mil,
Yeah,
that super
everything.
wide. You see everything, especially when there's a lot of movement. Some of my favorite shots are where artists are jumping and I've got basically under their feet and I'm like,
Same as in the shot that
yeah. And that's exactly the same. It's that the wideness of it and being so close to a subject is just so dramatic. I love it. That's normally my go-to. Then obviously we try and use some prime lenses. So I really like the 135 mil. They're normally like 1.8, so super nice, super clean, especially like acoustic singers and things. But it's really nice and everyone wants that shot, but to me it's quite boring. I still get it because artists love it, but yeah, I try and keep it as crazy as I can because that's what I like to try and do.
Yeah. And for me, I sometimes because with concerts, yes, I shoot like I said, I shoot ultra wide as well.
Yeah.
But I also like shooting tight shots, like
Yeah.
85 or even like 100 or 200. I like capturing, just the face of the artist. And
Mm-hmm.
what I noticed is I even applied my knowledge in shooting portraits,
Yeah.
with shooting concerts. Like I usually frame my subject or the singer, for example, with the lighting at the back. For example,
Yes,
I want
yeah.
them to have like a backlight. Also, I love being having a main light and also a fill light. So I somehow applied also my knowledge in other type of photography in shooting concerts, which is good.
Yeah.
So I believe you have same.
Yeah, well,
same,
like you're saying is like the lighting is such a big part of
Exactly.
concerts, and
Yeah.
if you can understand how that light's going to actually work,
Sure.
and you can position yourself around the arena or whatever it is to get that shot, like backlighting, you have to make sure you're in the right place, that the light's going to line up. So if you can anticipate that,
Sure.
you should end up with a
Yeah,
great
I think
shot.
when I'm in concerts, I always look for those main lights.
Yeah.
You need to study the pattern.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. So lucky for me, my day job is actually like an AV project
Yeah,
manager. So
exactly.
I do this stuff every day as well. So I know how this screen's going to look, how these lights are going to look. Like,
Yeah.
So it really helps actually, and the two tie together so well.
Yeah, exactly. How about choosing the camera? Like, what are the specific features of a camera that you're looking for shooting concerts?
So for me, I concentrate a lot on low light because obviously it's really dark situations. So a really good clean sensor is like the number one thing I look for. And then a lot of the time I'm also shooting video. I do a lot of hybrid shooting where I do photo and video at the same time, which is extremely challenging, but you got to do what you got to do. So something where a camera where I can switch between photo and video really easily and quickly, that is also a big plus for me. And then for me, it's more about the lenses. Like I want really unique looking lenses. I mean, I started out with a Canon 60D. You can start concert photography with anything. It might not be the best in the world, but there's a big sort of resurgence of grainy film, edgy looking, blurry pictures at the moment. So roll with it. If you got to work with what you got to work with, so any camera will do. But for me, the low light and some unique lenses.
Yeah, so full frame.
Yeah, full
It's a
frame for
must.
sure.
It's a
Yeah,
must,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely.
Now, how about accessories? Like, what accessories do you bring or do you recommend for shooting concerts?
So there's a few different things. So as much as I said, don't use flash, I always bring along a flash because like if we're doing some stuff backstage, if I know the artist and I'm working with them, I can say let's do some cool flash stuff. But I'm not a fan of flash really. It's not my sort of style. But I still have one.
Yeah.
Always be prepared. Have
Also,
everything.
kind of like a disrespect to the people who are behind the lighting.
Yes,
design,
yeah.
You know?
If you feel like don't use flash at concert photography. It drives me insane. Like people do it and they don't realize that you're blinding the artist, you're annoying the audience because it's just making them like washed out white. There's a lighting designer, all these hundreds of thousands of dirham of
spent
lights.
millions for for that.
And then you're just there going,
Yeah, unless if you're shooting in a really bad
pitch
concert
black,
scene or like small events.
yeah,
with-
you're working with the artist and you know what they want. Like,
Yes.
then
That's the exception. you know?
yeah. Obviously, loads of batteries, loads of SD or CF Express
Yeah.
cards. Like, I've been messing around with filters a bit. It's not, I don't know. I can't find
filters. Star filters.
Yeah, I've done some
yeah.
star filter stuff, and also these like you've probably seen it on Instagram, like these prism
Yes,
lens
prism,
effects.
yeah, sure,
I've got
sure.
like these half moon things, but it's I can't. The problem is I'm so busy looking at the artist, trying to anticipate what they're doing and trying to get that moment that I don't want to be messing
Right,
around
yeah.
with the filter and trying to get the right thing. It's
I tried that one. So just for the people that doesn't know what star filter is, so it's a filter that you put on your lens, and any lights would produce a star.
yeah, like a cross, like sparks
Exactly.
coming out.
Yeah.
It looks amazing if you do it
Yeah,
right.
exactly. It looks amazing, but the thing is, if you're getting paid to do the job,
Yeah.
like you're missing moment,
Yeah,
obviously, because you have to like
the
always-
moment is the most important thing.
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
whether it's a bit blurry, but you get the expression of the person. That's the most important. And they don't care if there's stars or anything. They just want the emotion of the show.
Exactly. So I think it's something that you could do if you're doing it as a hobby.
Yes,
You know?
yeah.
You're not getting paid. You're just there to take whatever you want.
And I do gigs for free as well. Like it's not to say I get paid for everything I do, because I definitely don't. It's like you do it for the love of it as well. Like there's concerts. I've got one coming up in about 2 weeks' time. Who is one of my favorite artists? They're called The Streets.
Oh, no.
It's like a very London, UK. It's like one guy with a band, and I'm hoping, and some of my friends and my contacts have said that they can get me a pass, and I said I'll pay them to shoot it. Like, that's the thing. Like, going to a concert is incredible, but going to a concert with your camera is even more incredible. To be able to capture my favorite artist doing their thing, it's like, what more could you ask for? It's the best.
That was the same feeling when I shot Metallica last year.
Yes.
We're together.
Yeah.
Metallica and 30 Seconds to Mars. You know, shooting the artist that you've been listening.
Yeah.
You know, for your whole life, man.
It makes it all worth it.
And the concert pit is the best seat in the
Yes,
concert area.
yeah, 100%.
Nothing beats the.
Yeah.
Brad, how about tripod or monopod? Like
So no, is the answer. Is really
wait, tripod? No.
No.
Monopod.
No.
I think last time I saw you using monopod.
No.
Really?
So monopod, I would consider, especially if you're doing video where like you want to try and hold a shot for a while. I mean, like it kills my back because I'm carrying two big heavy cameras. But tripod, no, it takes too long to set up. You got to run around.
You disturb.
You disturb everyone trying to put the legs out of the tripod. You're knocking people. It's and also it's normally not allowed. So no.
I think monopod is. I think it's something that I think I would bring.
Yeah.
Especially if the stage is kind of high.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
something that you,
because you can hold it up and get over as well. That's good. Again, it's that thing of like you should be a ninja. You should be silent. No one should really see you. And as soon as you start sticking a big stick in the air and distracting the audience, you should be invisible. That's the whole point of concert photography. You wear. Very important, one of the most important rules, which I keep seeing broken here, wear all black. You should be all in black. No one should see you. You should be hidden in the background and you should blend in. I saw someone wearing all white shooting on the main stage of a concert festival. And I was like, all I can see is you. You're standing next to the artist and I'm looking at you.
Bro, I hate photographers with main character syndrome.
Yeah.
Like
look at me. Look at my
They have sometimes they have red shirt or yellow shirt, and they have afro or like they have hair sticking out. I was like, bro, you're not the main character. Bro. You're here to cover the event.
Yeah, you want to take the mic and stuff.
Exactly. I mean, it happens, but as you said, you should be invisible.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I'm going to try and do over the next sort of 6 months to a year is that, and I've been planning it for a while, is try and make a guide to concert photography, like a sort of video series that people can actually go in depth on all of these little topics that we've touched on, because it's a really complicated and hard thing to get into. And it's really hard to like break that barrier of entry. So I really want to like give that to people and hopefully inspire more people to go and shoot their own concerts.
True. That's good, man. And watch your space.
Yeah, there you go.
So, Brad, you've been shooting concerts for 10 years, as you said.
Yeah.
Like, which is the artist you enjoyed the most shooting?
Oh, that's a really good question. Like, there's been a lot of good moments. Like, I've shot some really incredible performers. That's hard. I've got to say, I think one of my favorite ones was there's a guy called Example. He's like from the UK originally, but he's pretty like international. And there was a cancellation and there was a festival in Abu Dhabi called Club Social, and someone was supposed to perform. They cancelled, and then he got announced last minute. He put an Instagram story saying, "I need a photographer for this event." And I'm there. I'm me. Talk to me. I got my girlfriend to message. I got my friends to message. And eventually, like he messaged me back. And I think he's got like 700,000 Instagram followers. And I'm like, hello, can you talk to me? And so then he dropped me a DM. He gave me his WhatsApp. We were back and forth. And then like literally within 6 hours, I was in Abu Dhabi shooting with him. And I grew up listening to his music. And like I told my friends back home in England, and they're like, "What?" And I'm there like chilling with Example. I'm like, "This is so cool." It's like I've made it. We're backstage, like we're having some drinks and stuff. I was like, "This is a cool experience."
All right. So Brad. I mean, I've learned so much from you. I love all the experiences that you shared. Bro, just let's end this podcast with just give some advices to anyone who's aspiring to be a concert photographer.
Yep.
So just give them, your best advices.
Yeah. So if you want to be a concert photographer, just do it. There's no other way than you have to be pretty bold. You've got to reach out to anyone and everyone. Someone will eventually want you to shoot for them or them. Work with small artists, because these small artists may be touring the world one day, and that's the best way to grow, is to grow with an artist. So That's probably the main things. And then just keep experimenting. Like, you have to change it up. Everyone's doing the same sort of thing at the moment, and I'm guilty myself. Like, some of my shots you can look at and be like, that's quite boring, but it's clean, it's nice. But there's a real thing at the moment for trying to be unique. So try and find your own style, mess around. If you get some blurry pictures, it is what it is. Like, you're gonna mess up loads of times. I've messed up whole gigs where I've lost an SD card before. It happens, but just have fun with it. The whole point of concert photography is to enjoy the music. So enjoy it. If you're not singing along while you're shooting, you're doing it wrong. So that's it.
Amazing, Brad. Thank you so much,
No
and
worries.
see you in Saudi.
See you in Saudi.